What is up, boys? My name is Berate, and welcome to day one of me uploading every single day for the month of July. Now, I don't have any video ideas, and all of my video ideas for this month are going to come either from my Discord server or directly from the comment section. But since it's day one and I don't have time for that, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for a video idea. Give me a Valorant coaching video idea, preferably saying and add advanced concept. Okay, video about delayed pressure. That's actually pretty solid. Let me cook. So there's sort of three ways that I can tackle this concept, and since this is a bit of a concept that I haven't really tackled on the channel before, I say that this is a pretty solid idea. So I'll talk about delayed pressure, and the way I think about delayed pressure is sort of in two ways. One is faking a site, as in the act of making noise on one end of the map so that you're like two players, one with the bomb, one helping to trade. Hopefully people rotate off A and then they rotate over to B, and then you get a free A site, and then the rest of the team rotates once you have A. So that's sort of like the faking the site angle of delayed pressure. But then there's also the other thing of where you just make absolutely no noise and you just default and walk around the map and wait for them to push out. So I'll go over both of them. First off is faking the site. Now, a good site fake has three things. A, at least three people. You're not going to be faking a site with one person. You're not faking a site with two people. You need at least three people to fake a site. That's rule number one. Rule number two, you need to invest at least 2 to 3 pieces of utility. This is also very important because if you are trying to fake a site and you're not investing like, you know, both smokes, a flash, and like a skydog, chances are they're probably going to read that it's a fake and they're like, oh yeah, they're just making a bunch of noise, but they're not actually committing utility. The second the smokes go down, chances are people from A are just going to be booking it over to B to try to retake the site, especially if you haven't faked before. Now, if you have faked multiple rounds, you know, previously in the game, chances are what's going to happen is you're going to have like the sentinel anchoring on A, which is obviously what you don't want. But if this is your first time faking a site, the utility is there. And the third aspect of faking a site is committal. You need to actually act like you're about to take the site. So after the smokes go down and like you throw a flash here, actually commit and like get your cheeks on site and try to get a couple kills. Make it look like you're actually taking the site. This does two things. One, it makes it so that you have the chance to get a couple of free kills, and it really sells the fake. That's sort of hand in hand. You get kills, you really sell the fake. Two, there's a chance you actually take the site with 3 people. And if you take the site fully with 3 people, the people on A are not only going to have a free plant, the enemies are also going to have to worry about you just barreling through their spawn and just pinching them in their spawn. Because the people rotating from A are going to be late, and the people you pushed out of B are going to be sat here. So you're going to kind of just coyote rush them through A CT and through B CT and just nail them in their spawn. So the concept number 3 of a convincing site fake is committal. This is very important. Now, on to a bit more of the advanced concept, which is delayed pressure sort of in its purest form, which is defaulting and just not going anywhere really, and not really committing anywhere. Now, this has a couple of good things. One, it makes it so that you are gathering information. Now, gathering information is very important in this game. Especially if you know that your enemies like to make a lot of noise, right? Like sometimes they'll, you know, like to swing this immediately, or sometimes they'll, you know, aggress early out mid, like they'll smoke your top mid and then they'll like, you know, flash, you know, jet dash combo tiles or something, for example, for Ascent. Chances are if you're playing up against an aggressive team, the strategy is going to work really well. And sort of how this works is I'll pull out Valoplant and sort of show y'all what I mean here. So the idea sort of behind this, I'm going to stop the inspect animation. The idea sort of behind this is really as simple as you spread out your teammates on all of the major choke. I'm just going to make them all Cypher for the sake of argument. You spread out your teammates all throughout the map, and each person's goal is to gather information without getting seen. So y'all are going to start in your spawn, and then you'll have one person walk up A main, hold for any A main pushes. You'll have one person holding tiles, probably, you know, holding for a swing here. You'll have one person top mid, maybe, you know, to hold for a swing from bot mid, and it'll be, you know, jiggling this like this. You'll have one person A main holding for A main aggression, and then the last guy can kind of be a floater. Maybe you can double up A main, maybe you can double up here, or maybe if you're feeling really, really antsy, you could, you know, have your Omen or Clove, whatever, smoke this, and then have one, like, start walking up for a lurk if you have the read that there's, you know, no one going to be immediately mid. But notice how at this point, you're not really committing or rushing anywhere. You are just delaying your pressure. And I think that's sort of what the AI was trying to get me to talk about, is this sort of delayed pressure right here. At this point, you have fully set the tempo of the round, which is sort of the idea I want to get across. You are fully setting the tempo for this round, and if the enemies do anything stupid, walk out mid without clearing stuff, swing top mid, swing bot mid, swing through A, swing B main, you're gonna be ready, and chances are you're gonna get some kind of kill somewhere, especially if you're going up against an ultra aggro team. You're gonna get a kill somewhere. That's numbers advantage, and that is essentially the round one if you play it correctly. So yeah, those are sort of the two ways to effectively delay pressure in Valorant. There is a third way that I'll kind of go over, and this is more for like advanced strategy for like your premier team, but I'll go over it now. So this one is fully intended. This one is fully intending to set up a lurk. So let's say, for example, this dude right here, I'll highlight him. He wants to lurk mid. He wants to, you know, walk up mid like this, doop-de-doo, and try to get to their spawn and get some backs turned, hold for rotates, whatever. But your team needs to set up for that. So what can happen is you and your team can post up here, play very passive. This is all about delayed pressure. Your team's going to be playing around this area of the map. They're going to be playing very, very passive, so that the lurker here can get to a solid position that's safe, like maybe behind here. If it was a different map, obviously it'd be a different spot, but the theory applies here. So let's say he's just gonna, you know, sit himself down right here. Then whenever this guy calls go, they are going to make giga noise on B and try and exec the site with like smokes and stuff, and, you know, everything else in between, to make a distraction for this guy to actively come in and, let's say, kill a guy market, or hold for rotates from like an angle right here, or pinch the site. This is sort of like method 2, but on crack, because the entire goal is to make this guy right here, the lurker, the playmaker, and he's going to be the reason why you win this round. This is very risky, because if at any point your lurker dies, the jig is up and you're kind of just fighting a 4v5. But that is the risk that you're willing to take, and that's why I said really just save the strategy for VCT team, or like, not like VCT teams, but like organized 5-stack teams, like premier teams, or if your team is already playing slow regardless, you as the lurk player could be like, I'm going to sit in a safe spot, wait for them to make noise so that I can get a chance to walk up. So that's sort of just delayed pressure in a nutshell. Anyways, I am going to be uploading a video every single day in July, but that means I need ideas and I need topics. So if you have a concept that you've been burning and wanting me to cover, drop it down in the comments below right now, and I can almost guarantee, if it's a solid enough idea, I will do it, maybe even tomorrow. Anyways, with that being said, this has been Berate, and remember to brush your teeth today, because I know for a fact I haven't. Bye-bye.